Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Although class has only been in session for less than a month, 8 kids have already disappeared from the bus stop or getting home from school. All 8 incidents were quickly resolved, with every child being returned home safely. But it's still a scary experience for parents, prompting Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter, Bailey Hurley, to talk with experts today on what you should do if something like this happens with your child.
When it comes to not knowing where your child is after school, officials say the #1 offender is miscommunication.
These kids are never really lost, they're just misplaced.
And that rings true for the 8 recent incidents around the valley, with kids either getting on the wrong bus or hanging at the park without letting mom and dad know.
Both of the instances we've had recently were both communication issues. Kids stopping off a friend's house or getting sidetracked on the way home, and communication didn't get relayed as to where they were at.
And experts say if this happens to you, the first place to call is the school. And if your child's not there, the next place to call is the busing company, where Mike Steffen says they'll ask who your child's friends are and have you check nearby parks as well as your neighborhood.
Once they get off that bus, we have no idea where they're going. And we're hoping to come up with ideas to help a parent out.
Next comes talking with police, who say it's important to know what your child was wearing that day, as well as providing a recent photo. Police also stress the importance of establishing a strong communication between both you and your child.
Most often we find is that especially kids that are in school ages, they stop off with a friend or somewhere after school before going home. And that's where you take the time to communicate with your child, not only what your day looks like, so you know what their day looks like and that they have a clear plan after school what they're going to do.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Officials say it's also important to have strong communication between you and anyone else who helps get your child from one place to another. New video shows damage caused by a tornado in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Take a look. Drone video shows what's left of buildings and properties in the city. The tornado ripped through the area Tuesday night, leaving buildings without roofs and debris scattered everywhere. So far, there have been 37 reports of homes or properties severely damaged. Many of those reports include fallen trees, wrecked homes, and businesses.
The first responders are here. The neighbors, it's unbelievable.
Thankfully, there were no reports of deaths or anyone seriously injured. 2 recycling areas are open to help residents clear out debris. The Grand Forks Police Department is asking for your help finding 12-year-old Kaylee Meadows. Police say Meadows was last seen yesterday. She is about 4'9", 125 pounds, with brown hair and green eyes. If you see Kaylee, you're asked to call Grand Forks Police at this phone number, 701-787-8000. Luckily, we will not be seeing anything like the South Dakota tornado in the valley, but we could be seeing some late-night storms. Hutch joins us now with your no-wait weather. Hutch?
Thanks so much. It's been another gray day here across the valley with temperatures as expected below average for this time of the year. A quick look at the satellite and radar shows the clouds over the valley, but out to the west, thicker clouds and even some showers and thunderstorms developing in the western Dakotas. You mentioned the storms that moved through Sioux Falls last night. Overnight after the 10 o'clock hour and through morning, they trucked all the way across southern Minnesota and worked their way into the Twin Cities area. About 11:30 is when the storm pushed through Sioux Falls. That tornado rated at an EF2. Tonight in the FM area, it stays dry for the evening with temperatures slipping into the mid-50s. That east wind will continue to be pretty strong through the overnight hours with gusts over 20 miles per hour possible at times. Mid-50s by bedtime tonight in Grand Forks. We stay dry. Now, we won't stay dry long. Overnight, the rain showers begin to push their way into the valley. We'll have details on how much rain and the track of the expected showers here in just a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. Divide County authorities are looking for a 35-year-old man who may be in the Fargo area. Officials say an incident happened on Monday at the Divide County Elementary School in Crosby, North Dakota, when police tried to serve an arrest warrant for a probation violation, and the 35-year-old man, Brandon Starnes, ran away. The Divide County schools went into a soft lockdown as a precaution, and parents were able to pick up their children. Starnes is still at large and is not believed to be a threat. He is described as a Native American Polynesian male, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, with brownish blackish hair, a mustache and goatee, and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, an orange T-shirt underneath, and long blue denim shorts. The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources has confirmed the first 2 cases of epizootic hemorrhagic disease, or EHD, in wild white-tailed deer in Minnesota. EHD is a viral disease that is spread by a biting insect called a midge. Officials say finding multiple dead deer near a water source is typical of an EHD die-off. Fever drives the animals to seek water, but they die from internal lesions and hemorrhages. People who find a dead deer should report it to the nearest DNR area wildlife office. EHD is not a threat to humans or animals outside the deer family. Even so, people should not consume deer that appear to be sick or in poor health. Today, the 32nd Avenue Starbucks in Fargo took a brief moment of silence to remember all the victims of the 9/11 terror attacks. Earlier today, the store had a sign posted near the register about taking a moment of silence to remember the victims from that day. Today marks 18 years since the 9/11 attacks. Governor Doug Burgum has directed that flags across the state be flown at half-staff to honor victims of the 9/11 attacks. Burgum says, "Today we honor these brave souls and remember those who perished in the attacks while keeping in our prayers the loved ones they left behind who continue to grieve their tremendous loss." 110, that is the number of stories first responders had to climb at the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001. To honor those who lost their lives, local fire departments and Family Wellness are coming together to match that by having each member climb 110 stairs. One West Fargo firefighter, who is also a trainer at Family Wellness, wanted to bring the climb to the FM area so we may never forget.
It's nice when people walk around here at Family Wellness and see that people are doing this, and then it takes a moment out of their day to think about and remember the sacrifices people made.
Major Jerry O'Neill with the Fargo Salvation Army went to the World Trade Center just 6 weeks after the 9/11 attacks. He says people were still in shock and mourning, but even 18 years later, it's important to remember the courage from those first responders.
Most of us, when we think about that, our only thought is getting out of the building. And these, our first responders, they're not trying to get out. They're trying to get in and make sure that nobody gets left behind. And that's a tremendous sacrifice.
There will also be booths set up at the gym where people can donate to the Salvation Army. The proceeds will stay local, going back to the Salvation Army Emergency Disaster Relief Fund. City officials say the strip mall on 13th Avenue that was damaged during a winter storm came down today. One of the businesses caved in due to large amounts of snow collecting on the roof. Today, a crew demolished the remaining buildings. Today, a mother from Roseau, Minnesota, was featured on Dr. Phil in a segment called Social Media Meltdown, Parenting Gone Wild. The young mother of 2 was live streaming on Facebook this past spring, upset after a conversation with police officers in her children's school. Her ranting, profanity, and threatening comments sent the Roseau Elementary School into lockdown.
Those are my children! Begged me to watch her play! Begged! That is the best interest of the child!
What's your reaction?
I was really mad. I was really mad.
What got you so upset that you started live streaming, and who was your intended audience?
Well, my intended audience was my friends. I was served a no trespassing order from my kids' school.
Right.
And that was the reason why I was so mad.
If you missed today's segment featuring that Roseau woman, log on to valleynewslive.com for a link to the Dr. Phil show. And don't forget to tune into the Farmers Union Insurance Bison football pregame show that will begin at 11 Saturday morning. The pregame show will be followed by North Dakota State University taking on the Delaware Fightin' Blue Hens at Delaware Stadium at noon. You'll be able to watch the game on KVLY, GoBison.com, Hulu Live, YouTube Live, Fubo TV, and Sony OTT.